Whoa, they like,
Damn, ham, a fucking sandwich.
What's up, y'all? This is Relly back with another video. Yes, and today we have to talk about the breaking news of Kevin Porter Jr. being traded to the Houston Rockets for a second-round pick. Before we get into that, I need y'all to smash that sub button because we are still on the grind. And do not forget to smash that like button. But with all that being said, we gotta talk about this Kevin Porter Jr. trade. Now, for a lot of people, you're definitely disappointed in this news. Because for a lot of people, that's Kevin Porter Jr. fans or Cleveland fans, you was very, very excited to see him play in a Cleveland Cavaliers jersey, and that was cut short, right? We was waiting for him all season, and we are unable to get that, right? And then the second reason why you are disappointed is because of the package, right? We just got a second-round pick for Kevin Porter Jr. A lot of Cleveland fans feel like he was worth more. Honestly, I feel like he was worth more. And to be honest, I feel like even if we was going to trade him, which I do think we had to trade him, we should have probably tried to package him with Kevin Love. And that means we should have probably waited to trade him up until Kevin Love was back and healthy so we could trade him alongside Kevin Love to try to maneuver that contract, right? Because like I said before, I feel like we could have got more. We could have got at least a first-round pick, probably dumped some salary, and probably took in a player that could increase our depth, especially when we losing a player like Kevin Porter Jr., who has a lot of potential. And in terms of Houston, I gotta give him some credit because that was a great trade. Let's be real. That was a great trade. That was a great move for the Houston Rockets because they needed some talent, right? They needed some talent that they can grow, and Kevin Porter Jr. is a talent that they can grow, right? He's 20 years old, right? He has a lot of potential. He has a lot of upside. No matter what he done personally, right, outside of basketball, does not take away from what he does on the basketball court. And he's a very talented player, right? There's no way around that. And I feel like the Houston Rockets, now they get a young guy who's going to develop into something nice that could be special for the Houston Rockets. And a lot of people might be asking, what does this mean now for the Cleveland Cavaliers? What this means is it is no longer any more anticipation for the arrival of Kevin Porter Jr., right? We don't have to ask that question, when is Kevin Porter Jr. going to come back? We do not have to ask that question, is Kevin Porter Jr. going to wear a Cleveland Cavaliers jersey? We're not going to have to ask that question, how will Kevin Porter Jr. work in this new rotation with the new added depth, right? We don't have to ask any of these questions because that decision was made when they made the trade. Now, in terms of the second round pick, I don't have a lot of hope. Like trust and believe, you can still get a talent with a second rounder. You can flip a second rounder to get something else. But realistically, let's be real, it's really, really hard to get a legitimate talent with a second round pick. It's possible. Don't get me wrong. It's very possible, but it's hard. And I don't really think Kobe Altman is looking that into the second round pick. I think he was just in a situation where he felt like he's trying to get something. He's not trying to waive Kevin Porter Jr. because he understands he does has potential, right? And he's not trying to be the one that says, hey, I waived him and now he's on a new team and now he's became this type of player, which I think a lot of us believe he's going to be, right? It's just a matter of when. And I just feel like if Kevin Porter Jr. gets in the right situation, he can become the player he needs to be. And even though Kevin Porter Jr. is no longer a Cleveland Cavalier, I still wish the best for him, right? I still wish the best for him in terms of his development, his health, his mental state, everything, because let's be real, he has a lot of potential and I don't want it to go to waste, right? He's very, very talented. And I feel like the Houston Rockets should still find someone who could mentor him, that could really relate to him so he can get adjusted better, right? Because if he keeps these antics up, right, this is going to be an easy way for him to get bounced out the league, right? Even with him being this talented. And I know he's young. He has a lot to grow from. But it is still some things that he's shown and that he's done that he needs the right person to help him shape his life in terms of his basketball life so he can be the best player he can truly be in the NBA.
Hello YouTube, it is your boy Splash or Paz. Yes, greatness is around the corner. Tune in now and subscribe, and I will give you the tips, the tricks on how to be great at Apex Legends. Yes, I'm talking great Apex Legends content. If you want to be able to do this for your team and get better, subscribe now to greatness.
And for more amazing content, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can be a part of the grind. And with that being said, go.
Hey, motivated all about cash flow. Ran it up and ran out of excuses. In the field and we turned into hoopers.
For the clip like bonds we shootin'. Just like some soldiers we troopin'. Step back three, we hoopin'. We on house, just like Fortnite.